What's going on, internet? I am the Mass Man. Now, this really isn't a viewer request, but one of my viewers suggested that I check out a guy by the name of DJ Amekis. I think that's his name. And this is a guy whose videos that I see pop up in my suggested videos quite often because I'll check out, channels like DJ Vlad and various Hot 97. I'll check out their stuff on YouTube, and and it will keep popping up in my suggested videos. So, but I never really checked it out. So he suggested that I check it out and look into some of his topics and speak on some of the things that he talks about. So I checked out one of DJ Amekis. I don't know if that's the how you would say that. I checked out one of his videos, and he had a video on Chris Brown, saying that he works 3 times harder than other artists, yet he has to beg for album sales. So I kind of want to talk about, album sales. Now in the video, and I'll leave a link to the video. Like the viewer told me, the guy is, kind of entertaining. He was basically saying that Chris Brown is not the next Michael Jackson. He's never shown that level of talent. He also said that Chris Brown is more of a singles artist, that Adele showed that you can have a lot of album sales, and she got her foot on all these niggas' necks. What else did he say? He said that Chris Brown is a lot like Rihanna in terms of how he makes singles and doesn't really make dope albums. Some of his music is overproduced. He talked about the amount of Twitter followers and social media followers that he had overall, and how he was not even able to get 1% of their business, convert that 1% over to actual album sales. And basically that was pretty much the theme of the video. And if you want to hear what he had to say in full, I'll leave a link to his video in the description. But I just want to talk about recording artists, or maybe I should title this Black Recording Artists, because I don't really know all the time what I'm going to title these videos when I record them. I just know the subject I'm going to speak on. But Black artist album sales. See, the thing is, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Drake, Nicki Minaj, all of those people are kind of like the last wave of, recording artists who got put on by the record labels, who got put on by a record label, who got put on by a deal, who got really, really famous, and who made their money the old school way, like the way that the record company used to be run. Like the same way that LL Cool J became a household name, the same way that Run DMC became a household name, like Drake, Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, Rihanna, like all of those people, they're kind of like the last class of the conventional recording artist, becoming a star. So they're sort of the final wave. And the thing is, the entire record business, the whole thing has changed drastically. It's changed dramatically because of Napster, because of illegal downloading. It's changed dramatically, and album sales have really gone down across the board, white and black. But some white artists, still have a better time selling, like an Adele, because they get a significant amount of promotion and their fans are pretty connected, or their fans at least understand the connection between album sales and overall popularity. It's not as if they couldn't find Adele's album for free somewhere. They just want to show her support. The thing is, when you have a recording artist like a Chris Brown, and he is trying to figure out how he has so many fans and he can't convert those fans over into sales, it's because they are following you because you are a celebrity. They're not with you because of the work you do or because of the work you put out, because you came through the machine. You were pushed onto the scene. You were pushed onto the public. Now, you had a lot of talent, you had a lot of skill, but you came in right when people buying albums from black artists, and that was already going away. Like when you were 16, that was already going away. That was already, fading away. And now that you are 26, me and Chris Brown are the same age, approximately. Now that you're 26 and the music industry is completely changed, you are still a typical artist. You're still under the old business model. You're not an independent artist. So you're going to have problems converting all of those people into actual sales. Now, I don't agree with DJ Amekas I don't agree with the comparison between Chris Brown and Michael Jackson, because I really think amongst the singing, dancing niggas, that group of people, I really think that he's probably one of the best of the singing and dancing niggas. Like, everybody who sings and dances after Michael Jackson gets compared to Michael Jackson. But if you want to go down a list, Usher is not better than Michael Jackson. Genuine is not better than Michael Jackson. It's like, I don't know. I've never seen Trey Songz perform, but I don't know if he's a dancing nigga. But Trey Songz is not better than Michael Jackson. If we want to talk about who's not better at being Michael Jackson than Michael Jackson, then I'll be here, all fucking day. It's like Chris Brown is very good at what he does. And what I like about Chris Brown is he's a singing and dancing nigga like many before him, but he's the first. He's the first singing and dancing nigga who you have never questioned his sexuality. Like, look at all the singing and dancing niggas that there has ever been in history, in R&B history, not music history, because I don't think anybody questioned James Brown's sexuality, but R&B music. Look at all the singing and dancing niggas. It's like you all, like, since the 80s, the 90s, you've always been questioning all these niggas, meeting up with men, when they get off a tour. Chris Brown does the singing and dancing shit but you still feel his masculinity. You still see his man. Like he does it, and you still feel like, okay, this is a real dude. This is a man here. This is not. He ain't got no sissiness in him. So I think Chris Brown is kind of unique in that way. Um, and I think if Chris Brown, if he if he really focused on what made him special and unique, then he could transcend this trying to be like Michael Jackson's stigma that every singing and dancing nigga gets. Now, DJ Amek has also said that Chris Brown's music is overproduced. I'm not musically inclined enough to understand what that means. I don't know what overproduced means. But he compared Chris to Rihanna. And I'm gonna say this. I don't fucking like Rihanna, like as a human being. Because, because of how the whole Chris and her ordeal went down and how she did all of those interviews shitting on Chris Brown. And even like a whole lot of women weren't even supporting her, which was kind of like new, that so many women weren't on a female side. I don't even like Rihanna, or I don't want to like Rihanna. I don't want to like Rihanna. But every time I hear a Rihanna song on the radio, that shit is amazing. I'm like, I don't want to like this bitch, but this song is so good. Damn. That's why, if you in a car with me, I just call this bitch the devil because I hate her, but her music is so good. I don't know what it is. So whatever level of production, whatever they're doing, whatever musical understanding they have, they know how to do a good enough job. Her and Chris Brown, they know how to make songs that people like today. They know how to make the music that people fuck with today. So I don't think you can really get away from overproduction in the way that the recording industry is. Another thing I'll say is I don't believe that Chris Brown is not selling records because he's simply a singles artist. I think he can make that work. I think that if Chris Brown wants to turn, followers and all of that into actual sales, well, he has to do something very, very dramatic. Something that he probably wouldn't want to do. He would have to get off of Twitter, get off of Facebook, get off of Instagram. He'd have to leave all that shit behind, and then he'd have to start over from scratch. It's like you already got enough celebrity. People already know who you are. Like you're famous enough. So you pretty much have to start over. If you look at guys like J. Cole, better examples would be guys like Tech-N9ne and guys like Hopsin. These are guys who make millions of dollars independent. I guess Macklemore would be another one. These guys make millions of dollars. They're not household names. Everybody doesn't know who they are. You have to really kind of, just be aware of shit to even know to know who a Tech-N9ne is, or to know who a Hopsin is. Like, Tech-N9ne has just gotten more famous recently, and even still, the amount of money that he makes in the recording industry as a rapper versus how well known he is, it's crazy uneven. It's very uneven. If we're talking about how much money rappers making off of rap determining your level of fame, then Tech-N9ne would be the most famous rapper in the country. He'd be the most famous rapper in the world because he's making more money off of actually standing and rapping than anybody in the recording industry. I think somewhere he said that he was making like $20-30 million a year off of merchandising, album sales, and touring. Ain't no rapper making $30 million. So there are business models that exist where a guy like a Chris Brown can do phenomenally well, maybe even better than a guy like Tech Nine. But he actually has to get some business savvy, and he has to actually do like develop a grassroots fan base. The people who follow him now are just following a celebrity or just following a star. They're not following somebody who they have a real connection to, who they really identify with his music and what he does and support him. He is a creation of the machine. He is made by the machine. So people who are made by the machine, there's not this natural connection with, oh, I need to support this guy. I need to support him. People just kind of assume subconsciously that guy's rich, that guy's paid. I want to know. I'm on his social media not because I'm trying to keep up with his music, but I want to get to know the man behind the music. I want to get to know the man behind all of the other shit, because he must be making a lot of money off of that other shit, because he's been famous for so long. So let me get to know him. But when you got guys like a Hops and guys like a Tech Nine, I don't know how many followers they got. I don't know what their social media looks like. But if they do have, and if people are following them, they are following them because they support what they do, and they want to keep up with the music. They want to keep up with the work. They want to stay connected to what's going on and get a little feedback on how all of these projects are coming together, how all of this work is coming together. So really it's about restructuring your business model, redeveloping how you do business and looking at some of the successful independent guys. Because I think a Chris Brown can whoop Adele's ass every day. I think he can beat her ass. 3 million albums, in the first week, and then a million the second, and 750,000 the week after that. I think that's amazing. I think that would be incredible in any time. That's amazing. And being white and being promoted to the moon, I think that had a lot to do with it. But I think Chris Brown is crazy talented. Uh, I think that he can develop as an artist. I think he can improve as an artist. I think he can, I think that he can make meaningful music. I think that he can make music with a message, music with a point. I think he can sing, he can dance. He's a great performer. He has great masculine energy. I think Chris Brown can win, and I think Chris Brown can win in the game he's playing. But he just has to study other people who are actually more successful than he is, because he's got it in his head that I'm really famous and people are following me. Why aren't they supporting me? And DJ Amekis's, you know, his conclusion was, well, you're not really all that talented. You're not really that good. Well, I would say that I think he's crazy talented. I think he's incredibly talented, and I think he's a phenomenal performer, a great singer, as far as the whole Usher and Trey Songz, that brand of singer. I prefer, I more prefer like an R. Kelly, or, like a Cisco, or a KC. What is it, KC? Whatever the nigga who can really sing from KC and Jodeci, KC and JoJo, whichever is the nigga who can sing real good. Um, I like those kind of voices more than the than the Chris Brown voice. But as far as it goes, he's a good singer. So he has all the tools, and he has all the talent, and he has all the production. He just needs to change the model. He got to stop being a conventional recording artist and be an artist that you have to be in 2016 and beyond to actually make money. If he's trying to make money from album sales, he got to scrap it. He got to throw it all away. He got to throw it away. All those people following you, they're not following you for any meaningful reason. You're not getting it, helping your business. So fuck them. Chris Brown, fuck them. Throw that shit in the garbage and start from scratch. Nigga, you one of the most famous niggas in the game. You can give Hopsin a phone call. You can give Tech Nine a phone call. You can give Macklemore a phone call. You can call all of these people, pass them some money, and get them to teach you the independent game and how to build your own brand and build yourself and develop a grassroots following, so that when you get back on social media, whoever you have with you and who's ever following you then will really be putting money in your pocket. So to the guy who sent me the DJ Emeka's, I appreciate it. I did a video on it. I don't know how many videos I'm gonna be making based on topics that he covered. Like I said, I don't wanna constantly be piggybacking off of other niggas or taking their material. That's why I asked that people send me, stories in the media, like stories from the news or whatever, so I can talk about some general subject instead of like being a leech. But I thought that was something good to talk about because that was like a bigger story. So if you have a comment, leave it in the comments. Rate the video, like it, dislike it, be honest. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with the videos that I produce or not produce, the videos that I put out. If there is something that you want me to discuss, you want me to talk about, you can send me an email at themrmassman@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter and find me on Facebook at themrmassman. And that is all I have to say about this subject. I will see you in the next video.